Okay, I haven't done any videos in a couple days. I was getting frustrated with the uploads and the way things were going with it and the feedback that I'm getting. So I was just kind of didn't want to be bothered for a couple days. But I do want to finish up this series to Quantum of Conscience. I'm already at, I think, 86 videos. I figured I'll go up to 100 videos. And in doing so, I said I would bring you into the clouds, the moon, and the veil. I did a great job on the clouds, showing you how to go and grab the imagery and see it for yourselves. The moon as well. I put about probably only 7 or 8, but I figure I'm going to do a couple more, working my way up to the 100 vids. And that'll be the series for him, and I already have my eye on my next person that I want to call out. So, a couple channels actually that I'm going to call out, maybe at the same time, maybe separately. And I just want to mention before I go on is that as I'm calling out these shills all over the internet that are on YouTube and shit, I'm doing the same thing on the street. And I get some really good zombie interviews. And I interviewed a zombie, it was the day before yesterday, and I'm going to do a 3-4 hour series on that interview alone, because it's very interesting to watch how people's reaction when they're getting this and they can see it for themselves is even scarier. They just want to run right back to movies they saw, Star Wars, Matrix, Harry Potter. They want to run back to religious books, what we see as religious books, the Bible, the Quran, whatever. They want to run back to those books. They want to, their stuff. They definitely don't want anybody interfering with stuff. They need their stuff. So talking to this, what I'm telling you people about is, I'm really hoping that there's somebody out there that this shit's going to start clicking and they'll start doing the same thing. You don't have to have a big channel. It doesn't have to be a big channel. There are very unique ways to get the information out there and let it start clicking in more and more people. Because I'm not even impressed, to be honest with you. I mean, my views, you look at 100 views, if that, I'm guessing by now, because it was like 78, one of them the other day. I mean, come on, compared to hundreds of thousands, a guy could be rebuilding a carburetor and do a video, and within a month or two, he's got freaking 100,000 views. So, 100 views is shit. And then when you really think about the big scale, out of 6.8 billion people, even these people that have 60, 100,000 views, I mean, big fucking deal. At 6.8 billion people, if that's really, we're going to believe that's how many are here on this earth, in this realm, that we're going to believe that, and those numbers are supposed to be good. I mean, no, it needs to be way larger than that. So it has to go out on the street, by foot, person by person, not by internet. Even though the internet, I'm using it too. I'm going to too. But it has to happen on the street more than anything. In a proper way. Not to scare people or freak people out or argue with them like everybody seems to want to do. You know, that's not the way to do it. They're never going to see it. Just get them to see it. And then once they see it, you'll know. You have, use some common sense and child psychology. You'll know they'll see it. And I'll explain in later videos. Anyways, back to what I was going to start doing here is I'm going into the veil in the next few videos. And the only place I can get into the veil is at nighttime around the moon. I've got moon videos of daytime moon. I don't know if I'll fit it all in this 20-minute video, but I'm definitely going to bounce around on my channel. Now I'm going on my channel because I know my video footage, the most YouTube does is divide my pixels and break my pixels up a little bit to make things not as crisp as I see them on my end of the camera, but that's okay. I'm finding ways around that as well. That's why I'm telling people to use your camera. Even when you're looking at the clouds, you're shrinking the pixels down tighter. You're tightening the pixels, if you will. So you're doing that for your eyes. Your eyes will see it anyways. Once you're done looking at it with the camera, look back up with your eyes. So it's not a magic trick that you're using a camera, a digital camera, or whatever to get the imagery. That's just to get you going so you realize that it's not an accident. Once you realize it's not an accident, your eyes will just see it all. So anyways, I want to bring you through the veil because there's some things that will be brought up, and I was already ready for them. If you watch my earlier videos, I've been ready for the bullshit stories that are going to come my way when we talk about the veil, so I want to get into that. So anyways, you can go to other people's moon videos and do the same thing I'm doing. If they've got videos of the moon rolling through the sky, even if they're blank shots and you got enough light coming into your camera, let me just get started as I'm talking. So I'm going to page 16 on my channel because I already looked this up before I started. And I'm just going to go scroll down to these moon videos that I have here. Now these are marked set your cam to 50-50, pause at will, and see it all one, whatever. You know, real creative, huh? Research filter test. Now these are only with the standard filter on it. That's why I'm going to these first. I'm just letting you know that. So I'm going to take this 19-minute video, 19 minutes 38 seconds. Let's get it up to full screen. I already looked ahead of time, so I didn't have to waste too much of your time. So I was around 3 minutes. Start getting the glare into my telescope, and I'll start it there. So what I'm doing is I'm adjusting my telescope right here at this point, and it's coming in, and we're seeing the glare of the telescope coming into the night sky. Now what's going to be said and some of the arguments that will be given, and I'm going to show you how you can prove that that's not what's happening. I'm about to show you into the veil. I'm about to bring you into the veil that's all around us. And one aspect of it, at least anyways, not the neon aspect, is behind this dark nanocarbon aspect of the veil. When I bring you in, you're going to see all the imagery, and people are going to tell you that it's the carbon in your screen over here, or it's the carbon in your screen, you know, right here on the camera. It's neither, and you can prove that it's neither. You're going to prove that by the direction that it's going. It's going to be going in the same direction that the moon is. This nanocarbon veil is directional, and it's not always opposite, but it's not the same direction as the atmosphere. Usually opposite, but sometimes a little bit off. It seems to me anyway. So it might be rolling atmosphere to the right, and then again the nanocarbon veil is going to go along in the same direction as the moon, all at their own speeds, depending on their heavy metal makeup. If you watched any of my earlier videos, you'll understand what I'm saying. The stars, the moon, and the sun are simply holes in the veil. When I say holes in the veil, I don't just mean a big gaping hole. I mean this area right here that makes this circle up that we call the moon. This area is made up of different heavy metals than other aspects of the veil, for example. And those are going to drive the moon at its own speed. Now the blue neon aspect of the veil, you can see coming up around the moon. When it's a full moon, you'll see it all the way around. Anytime the moon is eclipsed, it's not eclipsed by anything other than the same dark nanocarbon, and you can see the imagery right in the fucking nanocarbon. Anytime the moon is eclipsed, even a tiny bit, even is right here, because it looks to me like it's not a full moon yet. Over here I can see the neon blue aspect of the veil coming out. Now as I bring you through this, I will bring you over to the model and give you an idea of what exactly it is I'm talking about. You're looking at the blue aspect of the veil above right there, surrounded by, you see the light. That's representative of something I cannot give you any evidence of other than the light that's coming in from the veil. The veil, we have all the evidence we want for. The light coming in, well, that goes into more theoretics, and I have some theories. That's why what you see there is a radiation band, is what I call it. And that radiation band is what's driving all of the nanocarbon to where they have to go by using sound resonance. So sound resonance, light, plasma, if you want to call it that. I'll mention that Brian Austin Lambert is also someone else that I really liked his theory, so I might send him 100 videos next. He's on my list of people that I'm going to do that for him. Besides, I like him because everybody else hates him. So anybody that everybody else fucking hates, I kind of like. But his theory that he had, he might be running out of time because I know he put a time limit on the crash of all of this. you know, some of the reasons why I like his theory is because when he brings up, because there's not much about it, there's just a few things. Let me stress that. There's a few things that I find very interesting about his theory. As we're talking, I'm going to start going in on the veil. I'm going to start zooming in over here. Now that's the moon coming up, all right, just so you know, and you'll start catching that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm bringing the phone in here to keep the light in everything and in on everything. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you that outer space is not what they told you it is. It's not anything outer space about it. So I guess I'll stay right about here. All right, I'm going to stay here and I'm going to let this go. I haven't pressed pause yet because I'm pretty sure more and more light's going to come into the camera. So I'm just going to watch it with you as we talk. Let's see. Or as I talk, I should say. Okay, I'm just going to keep an eye on it. So anyways, one of the things that was interesting is that Brian Austin Lambert talks about shit that was in the Bible. A lot of Bible talk, because he thinks that, you know, little bits and pieces of truth are coming through here, and it's true. I believe that as well, and seems to be evidence for that as well. So when he says that, when he uses a Bible verse that says that the skies opened up and people were looking up into the above the firmament is what I believe he was calling it. I don't think he calls it a veil. He doesn't think of it as a nanocarbon system in that way. I don't believe, if my memory serves me correctly. Let me see. I'm gonna go to another part. I thought at 3 minutes I was catching it good. Maybe it was back here. All right. Let's see. Yeah. All right. Let me pull back into the light. Let me get you right here and try to leave it so it doesn't fuzz out. So we're watching right now, as we're watching the veil movement, the moving of the veil as well, and we can see the direction that it's moving in, which is pretty cool to be able to watch this all happen. I'm trying to keep as much light in as I can, and I'll get it better than this, because I just had it better than this a few minutes ago. But kind of like watching it in a lightning storm. Anytime you have small bits of light, I'll go in here for you for a minute, and let me pause it. All right. So I've got it paused right now, and I'm going to find you an area. Matter of fact, I could probably come back here and get you even more. Let's see. Okay, here we go. All right, so we should already be able to start making out the imagery. This is the dark of night right here, and all I'm doing is pulling in light from my telescope into, light into my telescope from the moon. It's the moon's light that I'm using, and I'm pulling it in, and I'm looking up here where you all think is outer space. You're in outer space. No, you're not in outer space. And I'm going to tell you how we're going to separate things. I'm going to keep my mouse out of there if I can. My stick's kind of better than my mouse. It doesn't fuzz out as much. And I will get this better and better as I go. I'm just trying to grab a few right now so I can explain something. Alright, let me try right here. Let's see. Alright, so kind of like I'm showing you at night, let your eyes adjust. In the lightning storms, when I'm showing you, it's a little bit difficult. You'll start making out the imagery. And as I pointed out in other videos, the imagery you're going to catch up here is only going to be 1 and 2 dimensional. I don't think I ever see anything 3-dimensional that I can think of. Even in the moon, it gets close to being 3-dimensional, but I don't know, maybe somebody else could be a better judge of that, but it doesn't seem to me that the heavy metals that make up the moon are not the same as the heavy metals that make up the sun. Obviously not, because they travel in their own paths and they travel with different intensities and all that, so obviously not. I'm going to do is I'm going to pause and play. So I want to get you in a little bit better than I am. Let's see. Alright, I'm always zoomed in. Alright. So right here. Here we go. Alright, so I'm trying to bring some light into my camera is what I'm doing, so that you're able to see into the nighttime sky here. Okay, you're looking into the veil right here. and I'm on pause. That's why it's all staying in one position. So you can make out the imagery. You can. I'm going to get my stick out here, and you'll make out the large images that are taking up my whole camera, kind of like the ones that I'm showing you on the ground, in the atmosphere, and in the clouds. Let me pull this away because I'm getting some digital reflection going on in there. You might have noticed it. You see that it was getting lines in there, which is some of the things that I want to talk about as we do this. All right, so I'll leave it right here because I can make out some imagery right here. I can make out some nice imagery. It's dark, you know. I can pull you into the light a little more, I guess. Let's try somewhere around there. Yeah, all right. So I can see that imagery there, see it, all kinds of shit. All right, so again, I'm sorry I keep getting distracted. I'm already at 15 minutes, so I'm going to have to try to make this part quick, and then I'll go on to the next video, because I think I'm going to make like 6 or 7 more, and then I'm done with the series for Quantum of Conscience. All right, so what you're looking at here when you do this, you're going to see the imagery in the dark of night. Now, people will say it's in your screen. You can easily say no, it's not, because the pixels in your screen are doing something totally different. They're not directional. But let's keep it simple, okay? They're not directional. They're just fucking bouncing all over the fucking place. They do not create images either. They're not creating images in your screen. Your screen will go either black, or you'll have digital spotting everywhere, but it's random and it doesn't make up any imagery, so it's easy for you to determine what you're looking at here. Now the second one will be, how do we know that you're looking into a veil and not the atmosphere? How do we know? You're showing us videos of the atmosphere, clouds, in other words clouds. You're showing us the clouds in a misty atmosphere all the time, and I'm going to hit play while I'm talking about this. Let me see. New images. New images. So every time I hit pause and play, we're going to come up with new imagery, and you watch the direction of the veil, and it goes in the same direction in the moon. That's one reason why I know it's not the atmosphere. The atmosphere is going in the opposite direction. Usually totally opposite, but as I explained, sometimes just in a different direction, but never along the same path as the veil is going. So that's one way to tell the difference. That it's not the atmosphere you're looking into. The other way you're going to know it's not the atmosphere that you're looking into is because, so I can get some more light in here for you. Okay. The other way you're going to know, what the hell was I talking about? I'm trying to get some images in here. Some ones that you can identify easy. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay, and that's another thing. The veil. Feline, canine, ape, human, rodent, and beast. That's it. Same shit. Same shit as everything on the ground. Same shit as in the moon. Same shit as everywhere. It's always feline, canine, ape, rodent, human, and beast. Back to the other thing that you'll be told, that what you're actually looking at here is not what this guy's telling you and what you're seeing with your own eyes. It's not what you're seeing with your own eyes right now, though. Can't be that. See all the imagery as I'm going around inside the veil? And then they'll say, how do you know it's, you're already proving to us that we can prove to ourselves that when we aim our camera up in the clouds, we can see all this. So how can you say that you're looking into the veil and not the atmosphere? Well, again, the atmosphere is rolling in the opposite direction. During the daytime, you cannot get, I cannot anyways, maybe someone else with better equipment can, I cannot get in at the veil in the day. There's the atmosphere, once lit up by the sun, once the sun's lighting it up, yeah, I can see in the veil here when I'm stealing the moon's light. When I'm stealing the moon's light from my telescope and looking back into the veil, then yes, the imagery's and the nano, look everywhere. The triangles, look at the fucking triangles by the gazillion jabillions. And hopefully you're getting some of this imagery. I keep putting my stick in front of the camera while I'm doing it. I shouldn't do that. Here you go. I'll bring you along this way, right along the moon's edge. So there are several ways that you can prove that what you're not seeing here is in your camera. You can prove that it's not the carbon in your screen, in your monitor of your computer. You can prove that it's not the atmosphere. There's plenty of evidence showing you that what you're looking here now at all this imagery that you're seeing, hopefully seeing, because I'm seeing it clear on this side. So I don't know if my camera brightness is going to be dark enough. I'm just going around the edge of the moon. That's the moon right there. And all I'm doing, because I know I've been through this a fucking million times, I'm pretty good at it now. So I'm using the corner of my camera right here to steal that light again. Because I'm not only stealing it for my telescope, but I'm stealing it for my camera as well as I'm doing this. That's why you're seeing me tilt it and leave a little in the light. Because if I go way over here, you're not going to, well, you'll still see a little, but not as much. I still got to leave a little bit of light, as you see in my camera, in order to steal that light to be able to show you all this. So by coming over here, sticking my corner in there, because again, this is important for me to show you how to do this, not just for me. All right, then the other way you're going to know, like I said, it's the atmosphere, it's not atmosphere, and that you're looking into the veil, is because at nighttime you can do this. Play. I'm hitting play and look at the direction. Watch the direction. Watch the direction that's all gone. Yeah. It's starting to get dark now. So I'm losing the light from my telescope because it's all aiming back at the moon. What's happening is my telescope is centering now, and that's purposeful because I'm out here doing two things. I'm getting in at the veil, which is right there. You're looking around at the edge of it right there. And I'm also, at the same time, grabbing imagery from the moon, which as it rises, as it comes into view here, and it's actually the reverse because this is a reverse telescope, by the way. I mean to keep mentioning that as I'm doing this because I'm showing the moon going in certain directions, and I know that it's reversed. So I just want to make it clear that, it's everyone else knows that it's a reverse telescope, reverse lens telescope. So that's your first introductory to the veil. And I'm just staying aimed at the moon right now while I'm doing this, and then I'll go back in the veil again on the next video. I'm going to do probably like 5 or 6 of them on the veil, and as we go along I'll do my usual pissing and moaning about everybody ignoring all this. Okay, see you soon.